I'm Jared Sachs, Channel Classics Records. It's a record label I've had for almost 30 years. And since 20 years working with Philip Sony in the beginning to help implement the DSD recordings. So I have about 250 recordings now in DSD stereo multi-channel. And it was so important to me, I said we have to make sure this format continues, so I started nativedsd.com, where I'm getting all the other labels to come and join. So we have over 70 labels there, and promoting and selling downloads of DSD content all over the world. So I think we've saved a format from dying. Not we, but all the labels together, of course. But since the beginning, it's been so important to me. And not the format so much as, yeah, it happens to be a format that works. When you're talking about music and emotion, what are we talking about? We can get technical, but that doesn't interest me. And I'm not an audiophile because I'm not interested in sound. I'm interested in music and emotion and how you get that. And I just find, especially in multi-channel, when listening back, even after I made a recording and listened to it how many hundreds of times, I still get, very moved by it. And that's, to me, that's what we're trying to do. Because you don't have the visually in front of you. You have to make it work without that. And I find that DSD, its dynamic range and its clarity and its depth of sound, there's still nothing that surpasses. And if there's something else, I'll go there. But this is still, for me, the best. I talked about how I make my recordings, trying to keep it as simple as possible, and trying not to do post-production, so I'm doing analog mixing at the session. And then I try to keep that until the end user. And so I was explaining to the people listening here how I do that and how I move the musicians in relationship to the microphone and not the other way around. And especially a lot of jazz recordings I've been doing lately, it's perfect for that because it's very spontaneous and every take is different. And you just need a good space to do it in, because if you're not doing post-production, then you have to find a space that's good for the musician, that they feel comfortable when they're playing, but also for me to make it sound natural. So, and I enjoyed the system and people that were really interested. Nagra for me was that was the ultimate recorder that you needed, especially when you were on location and you needed to have a recording made. I personally never had worked with Nagra because when I started as a hobby, it was right at the point when digital started. So I missed that one. So I don't do analog recordings and then going to digital. But my son, who is a cameraman and a sound man, he travels to this day with his Nagra. So that's, he just finished doing an American TV series called The Amazing Race, and he had his Nagra with him the whole time. The first time I heard the first bit of music that really moved me from, hey, this is what I want to do, is when I heard Saint-Saëns Symphony No. 3, the organ symphony. I heard a recording from Montreal Symphony Orchestra. I said, I want to do things like that.